I'm passionate about events like Trunk or Treat and VBS because I was that kid, and you never know. I mean, that piece of candy may lead a kid to say, hey, Mom, I want to go to church. And then the family comes to church and they find Jesus, and they've just changed their family tree.
Welcome back to TBC 10 Minute Tuesday. Plus, today's a podcast of Thelma Baptist Church, and I'm your host, BJ Parson, missions and student pastor here at TBC. Our goal in this weekly podcast is to engage, inform, and inspire, and I really hope we're able to do something in those categories this morning. In the TMT studio this morning, we are actually remote on location with our staff here in the mission house.
It's so cool to be with you today.
It is. Here we go. Just swing it around. We've got a portable mic. It's going to go in all directions. And so just to let us know who's at the table this morning, to my right is Pastor Leroy Campbell.
Hey, everybody.
And
Excited
then,
to be here.
There you go. And then Miss Michelle Knuckles.
Ooh, it's so good to be here.
And I hear the echo in the kitchen. So, and okay, the one who loves the microphone right next to Miss Michelle.
Not me.
That is Miss Melanie. And she's going to hog the microphone today. I know that's going to be the truth. She's going to hog the microphone. And then over here on the end, the guy who is no stranger to microphones.
Good morning.
With the radio voice. Y'all are just going to twist that twist that cable up. Sunday was an amazing day of worship, having everybody together. But then Sunday evening, we had our trunk or treat. Didn't know if we were actually going to be able to have it because of the weather that was coming through, but God was good, separated the clouds.
God was so good. We prayed about, we needed the rain because the rain was definitely needed. And so people said, what do we do? I'm not praying that we don't have rain. We're praying for the rain, but that God will bless us and kind of let it scoot around us. Now, it trickled and sprinkled some, but that did not harm anything. And so the very first thing I did when I stepped back on the church parking lot to get ready for the night was I just went ahead and thanked God for what was going to happen this night and for the people that were going to come in and work and serve. So I spent a moment of prayer and gratitude and thanksgiving before the event even happened because with rain or without rain, we were going to honor God through the actions and the events that we do for the night. And so I think it was a fantastic night.
It was. And we started off, before we even got out there and had anything going, we started off with a happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday song.
Yes.
That was fun because who else would plan a major event?
I had the biggest birthday party ever.
On their birthday. Who else would do that but Miss Michelle? And it ended up being an amazing night. Great things. I loved seeing the people come through, and I know everybody has the one thing that really stood out to you for the night. I didn't have very many opportunities to step back and look.
You were kind of
around.
busy, weren't you?
I was, and I'm hurting today. Just because that was more physical activity. At one point, at the end of the night, okay, this was the part where I was like, wait, what is happening right now? I looked around and the vehicles, the trunks that were right by me were gone. Like they had already packed up and left. And I looked down and it's like 8:00. And I still have a line of kids.
You did. For those that don't know, BJ had a zip line and it was great.
It was fun, but it was exhausting. we for 2 hours just picking kids up.
You're going to bring
and
in
put them on
some college
swing.
kids to help you next time.
Somebody, some weightlifters, somebody who spends time in the gym. I'm going to let you guys just kind of jump on there. What was your takeaway? What was the win? What did you see? Go ahead and pull it. I see your face.
BJ did give us a little heads up on this, but I'm in a group on Monday mornings. We've been going through Mark, and last week we were in Mark chapter 9, at the end of chapter 9, And there's this discussion that Jesus is having with his disciples. They're arguing about who's the greatest. And he tells them, if you want to be the greatest, the first must be last, and the last will be first. And then at the end of that little section, Jesus says this. He says, anyone who welcomes a little child like this on my behalf welcomes me. And anyone who welcomes me welcomes not only me, but also my Father who sent me. And I know that Trunk or Treat is a community event. It's an outreach event. There's purpose in it. And it's for kids. I mean, it's adults are there. They have a good time. I enjoy it. But it's for kids. It's for kids in our community, maybe kids that we will never see as a church. And after that section in Mark, Jesus goes on to talk about serving others, and he's not just actually, we read that and we go, well, little children, he's talking about little children, but really he's saying anybody that's like a little child, right? Anyone who you're not expecting to get something in return from, right? He's saying welcome those who aren't. You're not doing it for any other reason but to love them and to serve them and to do something for them, not expecting I'm going to get a reward for this. I'm going to get something in return for this. And so that's probably my favorite part of an event like that is, I don't know how many people we had. I know in the past we've had 800,000 people come. 800,000? 800 to 1,000 people come. Yeah, he's a Baptist pastor. And everything's free. We're feeding them. We have tons of volunteers who are investing tons of time. And it's not like this Sunday we're going to see our return on investment and we're going to have 800 people show up for worship. Right. And it's not like even at the end of the night we got to offer the plan of salvation and 20 people raised their hand to receive Jesus. And it's like, so you ask the question, well, what is the win? Well, the win is just loving people for the sake of loving people and serving our community. And yeah, they got to hear about Jesus. We were shooting pumpkins and pumpkin blasting in my booth, and there wasn't anything about Jesus in my booth, but the one right next to it talked about Jesus' love and how much Jesus loves you. And then the one next to that was God's workshop and building a cross and understanding what the cross means. And then the one after that, we're throwing axes. And so I'm beating on the table. I'm getting excited. But there is purpose behind that. And obviously we trust that God will use all of those things, but for us to just have that opportunity to serve those with no expectation of what we'll get in return. Every kid, whenever I strapped him in on the zip line, before I let go, I'd say, do you know Jesus? Last week, when Michelle and I were kind of preparing for the trunk or treat that was coming up, and we talked about it a little bit, that was the heart behind why we do what we do. The opportunity to share Christ in what we do. Sometimes you're planting a seed simply by feeding someone or giving them that extra Dr. Pepper or Coke, or you never know. You never know that kind gesture, how it's going to impact somebody. And then you're looking for, we do missions and we meet a physical need in order to have a spiritual opportunity. And this is part of mission work. That's right. We're meeting a physical need, and sometimes it's just a spiritual and a social need. People need to be around people. People need to have somebody look at them and smile and say, hey, would you like this? It's great. It's an awesome thing. What I loved about Trunk or Treat is as I stood out in the pecan orchard and started watching the cars come in from our participants from our church, and they just stepped up and just began to decorate and get things ready, and nobody had to tell them what to do. Everybody just stepped up and did and served and went above and beyond. So while I had this moment, church family, thank you so much. You are the reason why we can carry on Trunk or Treat and other events like that for our community. And thank you for volunteering, whether it was days and weeks ahead of time or even right before it began. Every person made a difference. One thing I really enjoyed this year that I don't always get to do, I actually had time to sit
well, I didn't sit at all. Stand and talk to families.
Yeah.
I had people at the greeting station, and Mr. Anthony walked up, hey, you see that family? They're brand new. They're new to the community. You might want to have a conversation. I was able to walk up and talk to them, introduce myself, invite them to church, just talk to them. And we've been so busy in the past and, a little packed in the parking lot. And this year we had more room to move around. So multiple families I was able just to connect with. And that part I thoroughly enjoyed.
And it was good to be able to spread out a little bit.
It was.
And enjoy that and see people come through. Now, you said something about the numbers. We did have, I know it was well over 800.
We had counted about 890 that came through the parking lot, but we had well over 100 or so, working in the pecan orchard already and their children. So God bless that night. And
Absolutely.
We had a lot of people come and serve and join us through the community.
Number-wise, probably close to 1,000 individuals who came through. And I would say success.
I do
right?
think so, yes.
Melanie, I see you sitting there and you have this look like, would you please just let me talk? So,
do you want me to tell what I think the biggest win was? One of the biggest wins.
sure.
That this is an event that so many of our church family can work together on.
Right.
From all ages, from your kids helping set up and clean up, and all the way to our senior adults who just showed up without signing up and just said, where can I serve?
Right.
There were so many of us working on one thing together to accomplish one goal, and I thought that was a big win for us.
It's a body of Christ coming together, and it is. Yep. It is. And that's the fun part. I asked Pastor Leroy once, how do you create a culture of individuals wanting to be together? How do you create a group culture that's growing, that is thriving? And one thing that you said is it's being together, it's working together, and that creates that culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Serving together and having fun together.
Right.
That's a big part of that. I think that's, I heard that from, I had Charlotte Simmons right next to me, and you can tell her and Karen Logan they look forward to this all year long. They're so excited about it. And then of course the social media post afterwards, that's what you get to see as those people who just love getting to be a part of this. I also would say, a part of my heart is I do want us to serve our community and to have influence in our community. And one question as a pastor, I guess you think about is, if we weren't here anymore, would we be missed as a church? If this church no longer existed in this community, would there be an impact? Would anybody notice? And I think Trunk or Treat is just another one of those times where we serve our community well, and people would miss it if we weren't here. So,
and you hope you hope that the answer to that is like a resounding absolutely, like the moment that you are gone, that people would miss you.
Absolutely. Right. And that's one that we get to do together. Obviously, hopefully, all of us are making those kinds of impacts as individuals and in our schools and at our workplaces and all of those things, but doing it together is fun.
Now, right next to me, so I was set up at one end of the pecan orchard, and then right above me, blasting people all night, like legitimately blasting people. I watched Mr. Andy Petrie, bless his heart. He was trying his dead level best just to be able to breathe and see what was going on at his booth.
At one point he had to put his hood on from his jacket over his head. I do want to. I need to make this disclaimer, everybody. One, I'm sorry if you got pelted with snow. Two, I promise that was the lowest setting on that machine. I could not make it go any lower. Like I tried. It was either that or off. And so I do apologize about that, but it was fun.
There was a lot of hot cocoa given out.
There was, and there's still a lot left. So if you want some hot chocolate, you are welcome to come by my office and grab a couple packs.
Eli came home, and I counted them. He had 33 packets of cocoa. And I asked him, how did you get 33 packets of cocoa? And he said, they told me to get what I wanted.
I cannot deny or
so
confirm.
He made at least He made at least 33.
Yeah, one a day for sure.
He had cocoa last night.
That's awesome.
He did.
I had cocoa yesterday.
And he really enjoyed it.
It's better when you double the packs up.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So he's got half a month for it. Yeah. No, that was really good. I appreciate it. That was actually, part of that was Michelle's idea. Hey, why don't you use Trunk or Treat as an opportunity to talk about Christmas that's coming up? And that was really fun. And we're all kind of saying the same thing here, but for me, and this is the truth, one of the things I love about Trunk, it's the same thing with like VBS as well. It's like,
oh yeah,
you said it a minute ago, BJ, like you never know what a package of hot chocolate is going to do. You never know what a piece of candy is going to do in a smiling face and how far that's going to go. The reason I know that is because I was that little kid.
Yeah.
Like I was not, I didn't grow up in church. And God and his sovereignty at some point in my life moved me down. Our family moved 4 houses down from a church, and I just I was able to walk to church. And so I went to church, and people loved me and served me well, and led me to Jesus. And so I'm passionate about events like Trunk or Treat and VBS because I was that kid, and you never know. That piece of candy may lead a kid to say, hey mom, I want to go to church, and then the family comes to church and they find Jesus, and they've just changed their family tree. And so I think stuff like this is highly valuable, and I had a blast. It was. I'm sorry to everybody who got pelted with snow, but it was worth it. Yeah, it was awesome, and just like you guys said, seeing our church come together every year to focus on the goal and the mission is awesome. To be a part of a church that's all in.
Yeah, and being able to reach out, it's big. It's a big opportunity. And so for those who are listening, or maybe you're listening and you think of someone else, man, they would really do well to get involved. This is something they would really enjoy. There's another opportunity coming up for you to get involved and to not just do something, but to bring others with you. And that's going to be November the 9th. And on November the 9th, we're going to have that morning. We're not doing groups that morning. We're having one worship time together, and that'll be at 10 a.m. So November the 9th, 10 a.m., one worship time together. And then we're going to dismiss out of our worship time and head to the soccer fields for our tailgate Sunday.
Yeah, I'm super pumped.
I could tell.
You asked what the goal or what the purpose of Tailgate Sunday is. It's very similar to what we did for Trunk or Treat, except for this is focused on our church family.
Right.
We had fun with people in our community for Trunk or Treat. This is to have fun with each other, to spend time together, to fellowship together. We've grown to the size church. It's hard to be together. We all
inside.
tried to be together inside
is.
A couple of weeks ago, and it's tough. You can't get around and visit. You can't fit between
That's
the
right.
tables.
That's right.
So Tailgate Sunday is your opportunity. It's that opportunity to be together, to visit. I hear from people who are in the first service who are like, I don't even know half the people in the second service. And people in the second service are like, where are these folks? I never see them anymore.
Right.
And it's because we've just grown. It's a part of our growth. And so to stay one church, to continue to grow together, to restore the fellowship that may be being lost by the fact that we're in two separate services with one another, we need events like this.
Absolutely.
Which it does require us to put some effort in, and we just finished a big event, and we were nervous about putting this day on the calendar just so close to an event right after. And so what we've decided is, why don't we let our groups host this event?
Oh yeah.
And so everybody has probably a tent at home. Everybody's probably got chairs at home. Everybody's got a barbecue grill or a dish that they like to bring to the tailgate. And so it's like, all right, well, instead of it being one team that has to plan this whole thing, we're going to do this as a community. And so I'm pretty excited. I'm excited about eating some good food together. I'm excited about just having some time to hang out. Last year, Michelle planned an event on Palm Sunday. And it really, I think it was part of what gave us the vision to do this in the afternoon rather than the morning.
Right.
Because her event was right after the service, but people hung around a long time. Found a spot in the shade, and we didn't even have that many activities planned. But it just showed me, it reminded me that our people do enjoy being together. And so this is just an opportunity to be together, to have fun, enjoy some food, and spend some time together as a church family.
Joe, I want to encourage everybody, if they have not already made plans, go ahead and make plans to be here. And it is to get the church people together. But you know what? That's a great opportunity to say, hey, why don't you go to church with me Sunday? We've got a really cool thing happening. You know?
Absolutely. So, yeah, the heart is fellowship with our people. But what's going to make people want to be a part of a church? When they see a group of church people who actually enjoy being together with each other. So, yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to bring a friend who you've been thinking about inviting to church.
We do First Wednesday, and First Wednesday is not just playtime, but it's an extended game time and time to hang out with students. But then our message is abbreviated. We have one point, and that's hard for a pastor to stand up and just have one point, right? But you do want to make a point of bringing Christ into it. There's a purpose. There's a reason. We're not doing a bait and switch. We talked about that last week. It's not a bait and switch. If there's any place in this world that we should be able to come together safely and enjoy time and Christ be in the middle of it, it's at the church.
Absolutely.
So why would we not do that?
Yeah, and we're going to try to make that day fun. Some of us want to just chill and have conversations. Other of us look for activities to do, and so that's part of it too. We're asking everybody to bring their cornhole boards, and we're going to have a flag football field set up, and we're going to have some stuff for the little kids to do. But I've also encouraged dominoes and card games, whatever you want to do to hang out, spend time together, have fun, and not be looking at the clock. When can I get out of here? That is not the heart behind this event.
Exactly.
I hate that it's over, is what I want people to feel when it ends.
And I'm anticipating the bungee jump over off the pine tree in the back. And I only said that because Pastor Doug's not in the room, and so I will see if he actually listened to the podcast by his response. I know it's an extended time. It's not 10 Minute Tuesday. I told you at the beginning it's going to be extended because we get to be together and talk about this. So I do want to encourage everybody to be a part. Thank you guys for what you do each week to make this church a success in the community and for the kingdom of God. So thank you so much for being here with me today. For everybody else, I want to encourage you guys to be a part of Wednesday night, 6:30 for children, students, and adult activities, and also 8:30 and 10 a.m. on Sunday morning for groups and worship here at TBC. Have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you back next time for TBC 10 Minute Tuesday.